So the premise behind this, right, is that basically humanity has destroyed Earth. It's no longer livable. And this little robot gets left behind with the job of cleaning things up and trying to once again prepare the Earth for humanity. So I've invited some folks here that had some familiarity with the movie, and I was hoping might help us think through kind of what this means for our role in this thing, putting together the ancient scriptural stories that we've heard about who we are in light of the creation of Earth, and also maybe what Wally tells us. So Sadie, you've got the microphone. Is there something that stands out for you from that clip, what you saw, what it might mean?
So in the movie clip, Wally he wakes up and he is getting ready for the day. He gets solar charged and he goes out and he starts cleaning up trash, and there's so much trash that humans have left behind. Like, humans just completely ruined Earth. And instead of working to fix it, they just left. And they left this little robot to clean them up.
Yeah, yeah. When I see that trash pile in this clip, I'm like, oh my gosh, how's he ever gonna finish cleaning all of that up? He's one little robot. Do either of you have a thought on that, Huck or June? Huck? Okay, go ahead, June, and we'll pass it down to Huck.
I'm seeing how he picks up the plant, and in the boot for the movie that he picks up.
Yeah, bring it a little closer, Sugar. I heard the pick up the plant, and then I couldn't hear after that.
So in the movie, he has the boot and the plant, so I think that's the start of the movie where he finds the plant, the last living plant, probably on the whole Earth.
Yeah.
And it's really cool how he doesn't care, he's not mad at them, he's just doing it anyways, and he is making it better because he wants everything to be breathing and livable, and he doesn't want it to be trashed.
I love that. And I love that that you've pointed out kind of, even though the job seems insurmountable, right? Wally shows up, does his thing. I don't know if a robot can be perky, but he seems pretty perky. He just shows up, does his job. It's seems pretty, he's got a friend, and recognizes this beautiful last holdout of life. Thank you. Did you have something, Huck? Go ahead.
Almost, it was like that he was built to get the plant. Like, he was built to stay on Earth so that he could get the plant. And the other thing was, instead of fixing the world, they had to leave and left him to do it.
Yeah, left it all behind. Sometimes I think that, and no offense to any older generations in the room. I'm clearly an older generation than these folks too. But do you ever feel like older generations kind of feel that way about you guys? Like, well, the kids, they'll figure it out, right? Have you heard that ever in your lives? No? That's funny, Sadie, because you came home from Misha Haley's class telling me it was your job. Anyway, she did tell you that it would be your job to clean it up. Do you guys remember anything from the story I told at the beginning, from the scripture story, and kind of how it talked about the creation of the world? And what do you get about that, about humans' job in this world? Get anything from that? You did?
So apparently their job was to keep the livestock alive and garden and just round everything. But instead of doing that, they took almost advantage of everything and kind of left the rest in shambles, like global warming, pollution, how there's trash in lakes and oceans. So instead of what God intended, maybe as in to help pick up the edges, they kind of just made it worse.
I think you're pretty right on there. Do you want to share something, Huck? Yeah.
So the people, if they put more effort, the world wouldn't be like it was in the clip. Because, if they just recycled more and didn't throw stuff and didn't litter, then it wouldn't be this bad.
I like that. Do you have anything you want to share, June? You're good for this one? So when I think about that, though, from where we are now, okay, so I think we can all probably nod our heads that humanity has made some mistakes when it comes to the planet. Nobody really disagreeing about that, right? That, And we can blame it on ignorance or various systems or just other priorities, right? We gotta feed our kids. We gotta take care of things. Oh, we just got new lighting. All the kids perked up. But what about now? Okay, so we don't get to go back and change what's happened before. And I honestly think that if we're just sitting around feeling guilty and ashamed of all that's happened before, it kind of paralyzes us. It makes it harder for us to do what we need to do now. So I'm wondering if you guys, are you all Generation Alpha? Is that your generation? No. What's your generation? Gen Z? You're Gen Z. Okay. So any thoughts about what Gen Z thinks ought to be done about this? Starting from where we are. We can't change what we've done.
For an example, we could either start recycling more, or in junkyards, we could maybe try to separate the trash more and make sure that recyclable things and things that we can put back into the earth are being put back into the earth and not harmful, like chemicals. We could stop putting like pollution and trash into our oceans, our lakes, our water sources that we have to drink from. And we need to stop using non-renewable sources of energy, because that's pretty bad for the earth as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sadie. Any others? Huck, you got something to say? Go ahead, bud.
Electric cars.
That could be helpful.
Because like the gas powered makes smoke that pollutes the air.
Yeah. No bad ideas. Wisdom cries out and no man hears, as Helen says.
As my dad and Joe were talking in the car about how phones and how refrigerators have to be reusable after a certain amount of time, which is really destroying our community and the earth, because after a certain amount of time with phones, you have to throw them out or you have to trade them in for new ones, and it's just very like destroying.
Yeah. So let me ask you something else. So anybody could probably debate multiple sides of this, of what you guys are sharing, right? Everybody could come up with probably a bunch of yeah buts. Yeah, but I have to think about this first, or yeah, but the situation prevents that, or whatever. So what I want to think about is, who are people called to be inside, right? Let's take off the to-do, because I feel like you've kind of captured a lot of what the doing could be. Can you think about who we're supposed to be inside and share a few words about that? Because I think we have to think about our being, because that's what's going to make us into our doing. Does my question make sense? What do you think? What do you think from what you've seen and just what you know?
So if, for example, you had a lot of money, instead of just spending that on things you wanted, you could spend that on other people's needs as well. So you could be less greedy.
Yeah.
You could be less selfish.
Can you use some of the words that describe a person who's like that? What words describe a person who's willing to be not greedy and not selfish, that's willing to help others?
So like kindness, like forgiveness is good, empathy,
Yeah.
knowing like other people's situations and knowing how to help them.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pick on you one more time. How will I know what would help somebody else?
It's not always that easy. Sometimes you gotta ask, and if somebody asks you, then you know how to help them.
Yeah. There's a word for that. Relationship. And I think one of the things I wanted to draw out that you guys have been kind of pointing to, and I think our clips kind of point to, is part of the essential part of this is about relationship. It's relationship with each other so that we can meet each other's needs. It's relationship with our planet. Did you see what changed for Wally when he saw that little green, right? Like, how was that different than how he treated, I don't know, the ducky or the bra or the other things he found?
So when he saw the plant, he like carefully picked it up and put it in a boot, and with the other things, he just kind of threw them in his little tool chest.
Yeah. Yeah, he saw something different. There was a different relationship because he saw life there. And we have to be able to see the life in each other. Did either Huck or June, did either one of you want to share about that? Anything else from you all about what you've seen or what you've heard either from the scripture, the movie, or the kids. Yeah, Peter, just shout out. I'll repeat after you. Yeah, saw it in the theater. Mhm. The first 40 minutes is no dialogue, yeah. Yeah, develops Wally. Mhm. Yeah, the human beings are on a spaceship called the Axiom. Got it. Ah, something you assume to be true. Ah, the plant is not the last bit of old life, it's the first bit of new life. A world that has been considered uninhabitable. It's useless. We can't use it anymore. We're rid of it. And here's the first spark that maybe there's something else possible. Despite, oh, preacher, despite everything human beings have done to the planet, it is still very good. Preach, preacher. Oh, we got more preachers. Let me do Helen and then Steve. Yeah, go ahead. Wisdom from the youth. For the first time when astronauts saw Earth from space, yeah. Ah, this blue ball of life in the great blackness, the great void. We do forget. Ah, plops out the diamond. Yeah. Yeah. So I love what you said about so Wally is in charge of compacting all this trash, right? And trying to clean up and stuff. And every single piece, what you pointed out, Helen, is every single piece of what he's picked up is something somebody spent money on. Somebody thought was worth the exchange of their hard-earned time, energy, money, intelligence, imagination, whatever. And now it's just clunk, clunk, clunk. And what is special is what was always there already, was creation, was life, was the green, the plant, the earth. Thank you, Steve, and then we're going to move on. The first time God says, oops, that's not good. Was when the human being was alone. Ties back to selfishness, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need each other. Yeah, our individualization is one of the things that's hurting us. A couple more thoughts from our...
Yeah, going back to like the ring in the box is Wally sees stuff in different ways where like people didn't see them. Like Wally doesn't see the importance of the ring or the importance of like the trash, but he sees the importance in things that you might not normally see, like the box of the ring and like the toys and just the little things. He sees the little things.
Yeah, thank you, Sadie. May we all be a little better at seeing the little things and what is really alive and what is life-giving in our world. And may we nurture that and nurture those relationships. Did you want to say something, Nancy? Hold on to stuff lightly. Because that what Wally is telling us is that's not what's ultimately going to matter. What does Wally care about? What are the two things Wally cares about? Do you want to answer that, Huck? What?
He cares about the world, and he just cares about getting cool stuff, and he cares about life.
He cares about life. Yeah, well, and I would say even the emphasis, the two things that he seems to have a different reaction to are his little cockroach friend and
Life.
the plant.
I didn't know this
The
was
plant.
on, sorry.
Yes, no, you're good. I'm going to wrap us up, but I had one more comment. Yes. The beginning of the world, yeah. Wally's trying to figure out how to make it better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
In the face of overwhelming odds, too, my friend. In the face of the void, the spinning ball, blue ball in the void, in the face of the giant piles of trash, in the face that he's the only one there still doing anything about it, he still comes and shows up each day and says, how can I make it a little bit better? Thank you so much. We're going to end there, and I'm going to invite our band back up, and thank you to can we have a little round of applause for our contributors today? Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your gifts with us.